Mexico versus Portugal 0-0. Let's do a quick recap of the game. I really want to break it down and talk about players, talk about how the game was, how Portugal, everything. This is like the first video, first episode I'm doing officially now. I guess for this soccer channel, I used to talk about UFC and, other content, but now it's going to be all about football/soccer. First off, I just want to say I think this is a very good result for Mexico. I think Portugal before this game was like top five, top six favorite to win the World Cup. They have very good players, very good players. Nuno Benz, best left back. Vitinha, one of the best midfielders they are right now. Cristiano Ronaldo was not there, but Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the goats. And then you have players like Joao Felix that has the talent, has the skills, but you better hope you get him on the good day. And then you have Bruno Fernandes, probably the best midfielder in the Premier League, or one of the best, and probably the best midfielder for Portugal. A very good captain, a leader for that team. And then everyone else pretty much is very good, very talented team. So I think for Mexico, very good result to get a tie, especially opening up the Azteca or Bananorte now stadium in this against Portugal in that environment. It was not easy to do. There's a lot of good things, a lot of bad things. So I want to talk about this lineup real quick that Mexico came up out with. I think everyone, especially in that back line, is going to start and will be going to the World Cup. No question. Reyes impressed me. I'm very surprised what he was able to do defensively. Nothing too much attacking wise. He had one shot, which I'm happy that he took. Instead of kind of taking the easy route and just passing the ball. It showed that he's willing to take a chance on himself. Montes, best defender we got, man, in the Mexican jersey. Now, on paper, maybe it's Vasquez, but Montes, when he was playing for Mexico, it's really hard to get past him. And I think, and I hope that he's one of the best defensive players in the tournament. Vasquez, very good as well, right behind Montes. So all I can say is almost the same thing. Gallardo is going to be our starting left back unless, Mateo Chavez comes back and he's healthy. But even if Chavez comes back, or maybe they take someone like El Cotorro Gonzalez who plays for Chivas, I just don't see Gallardo being the number two option, right? I think he's going to be the number one option going into the World Cup. Tala Rangel, I know a lot of people aren't happy about him in general, but he's going to be our goalie, man. We have been spoiled with Ochoa for years. Ochoa's old now, man. Like, the dude is past the Nunk era, whatever. He's just not, that's not where we are anymore. So, this is the reality. We have El Tala, Magallon, that's her, or Magon, however you say his name, I can't say it. And then Acevedo, that is like really mid, in my opinion. But Tala Rangel is nothing special. He's very good. I like him. He's my goalie for Chivas, but I would take prime Memo Ochoa any day. Of course, anyone would. Eric Lira, he's playing the CDM position because Alvarez is hurt, and hopefully Alvarez, recovers and is ready for this World Cup because we are really gonna need him. Not saying that Lira is not good, but I definitely just prefer Alvarez. And Lira will be going to the World Cup. He can play that center back position as well. So he did okay. Nothing special from him. Now, I want to talk about our midfield and up because I think this is going to change a lot going into the World Cup. Obed Vargas, a very young talent, but I think maybe the moment was too big for him, man. He made one really big mistake that Portugal definitely should have scored on. Um, and man, it's tough because I have high expectations for the guy, especially in the Mexican jersey. So I don't know. I don't know if he'll. I don't know. He's definitely. I don't see him starting. I don't know how depth we are in this specific position. But he may or may not be going to the World Cup. But I just did not like his game yesterday. Now there was times where he looked very good and the link up was good, but that mistake really just was alarming. Brian Gutierrez, very impressed. This guy wasn't really being talked about a year ago, and now we're talking about how he has to go to the World Cup. So he had a good game. I wish he would have played more, but I get it. This is a international game where you want to see what your options are, and I think El Vasco saw what he needed to see from him, and I think he's a lock going into the World Cup. Raul Jimenez, I don't know how I'm starting to feel about this guy, man. I was hating on this guy a year ago probably, and then he made all these badass goals, and I was like, okay, this guy's he's good. But now when he's not having the success, it just seems all he does is cry. He was crying during the game, he cried after the game, and he's just not producing. And he's a little slow, but obviously if he has a shot, that shit's probably going in. But I just expect a little bit more, especially in these matches that are not going to be easy. They're going to be tough. Fidalgo, I mean, very impressed by the guy, man. This guy was moving insane. So I'll talk a little bit more depth about him. Alvarado, we don't have much options in that right mid, right wing position. So this is the best we got there too. It is what it is. But I want to talk about also, I guess, who stood out to me the most. It's going to be Brian Gutierrez, of course, and Fidalgo, man. Seeing those two guys in the midfielder or in the midfield, and you bring in someone like Mora, hopefully he gets healthy. It's like, bro, having those three guys, and then you put in Edson Alvarez right behind them at the CDM position, it's like, holy. Whether it's Jimenez or Hormiga or Santi at the striker position, I think Mexico can be very, very nasty, bro. Like, I know the fans, myself included, wasn't too happy with that performance, but think about it, bro. Brian Gutierrez, Fidalgo, Mora, Edson Alvarez, Raul Jimenez, Hormiga Gonzalez, or Santi Jimenez in that striker position. And then that back line that we have, because that back line and the goalie, that's locked. That is locked, no matter what. Mexico's going to go, and everyone is healthy, bro. Mexico's going to be very nasty, bro. Like, we could get some basic Mexico shit World Cup performance, but if these guys find the link up play and they pass the ball, they're going to defend real well, and they manage to just have a few opportunities per match. We got the striker, we just need a little bit of opportunity there. I think Mexico could be really crazy, bro. There was times in the game where the short passing, that first touch passing was very good from Mexico. And it was different. That first half, like the first 20 minutes when Portugal was just sitting back a little bit and kind of waiting, I just didn't the way that Mexico was playing, I haven't seen that in a long time. A long time, bro. They were moving the ball real well. The first time passing was well. When they moved up and decided to really go at goal, I liked it a lot. Second half was very defensive minded, which was pretty annoying. But I'm very excited. I'm very excited for this Belgian game as well because I hope that that El Vasco goes in there trying to win that game. I know Belgium put up 5 against the US, but we can't be scared, bro. Like we're gonna have to play them hard to have a chance, honestly, because if we play like how we played against Portugal, Belgium will score a goal no matter what. It's gonna happen. So, let's talk about the subs that came in. Charles Rodriguez, I'm not trying to be mean. I don't know why this guy plays for Mexico. For Cruz Azul, he shat on Chivas. I get it, but with Mexico, he does nothing. Julian Quiñones, a very good player. He can be a starter or like a super sub, but he will definitely be having minutes into the World Cup no matter what. Chiquito Sanchez, man, this guy, he has games where he's very good, and then he has games like yesterday where he's just like, eh. I think if you put Chiquito Sanchez, like the right players around him, and he has just that one job, he's very good. Bartamane, I can't even say his name right. I don't know why he went in before El Hormiga Gonzalez went in. I did not like that at all. I think he will be the striker that's left out. I think the 3 strikers that are going is Gonzalez, Hormiga, Raul Jimenez, and Santi Jimenez. And then we had this guy, Eduardo Lopez, which honestly, bro, I don't know too much about this guy, bro. I don't even know who he plays for. But that left back position, we don't have many options. So Gallardo needs to stay healthy. But Lopez, it wasn't like he went in there and made a lot of mistakes. So there's nothing bad I can say about the guy. Now, Portugal, they had a terrible game, bro. That first half was so bad. They had that one chance that what's his name? Ramos, Conclau Ramos. He had that shot that hit the post, but he had one shot that should have definitely went in. He should have tapped it in. There was another one that was crossed the same way. I think Ramos was the one that crossed it. Someone should have been back there to score that shit. Bruno Fernandez, fucking beast, bro. He's a beast. He's a beast. I think he's going to be very important for this Portugal team. Joao Felix, very disappointing talent, bro. That's all I can say. Conce Sao, he had his moments, but it seemed like he wasn't used to playing in Mexico, bro. Like it was like his first time playing. Um, there was little moments, but yeah, when Pedro Neto came in, Pedro Neto was just a lot more scary to deal with. Uh, Neves, did pretty good. Samu, pretty good. Everyone else, Portugal did good. Nuno Mendes did okay. Nothing special, but Nuno Mendes, when he did go up, was very scary. Um, but yeah, man, Portugal had a poor game, so they're gonna go into the U.S. game. They're gonna wanna beat the U.S., especially knowing that Belgium put 5 on them. The U.S. is gonna be very vulnerable defensively. So I think Portugal going into that game, they're gonna be on a mission. And for Mexico, like I don't want them to go into this Belgian game just defense minded, and just try to survive because it felt like that's what they try to do with Portugal in the second half. Um, and what else can I say about this game, man? Overall, I'm happy with the result. 0-0 with a Portugal team that's supposed to have in my opinion, I think Portugal's like I said 5 or 6 to win the World Cup. Um, they have a very good team, a lot of quality players to get a result like that. I'm happy with it, but the way that Portugal played, I needed Mexico to just step up for that opportunity. Like, okay, these guys are giving us some chances. Let's go score. And that wasn't there, bro. And I don't know if it was because of the game plan or because of the players. So going into this Belgian game is going to be very, very interesting. But I guess I'm happy, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy with the result. This is a international break. We're a few months away, and the team is, it's we're getting to the point where we know who's definitely gonna be in and who's gonna be out, who doesn't need to start. And I just hope that the coach El Vasco sees the same thing, bro. Like El Vasco does not need to be fucking playing. Bertamane, however you say his name, does not need to be going in before Miga. Like shit like that just does not need to slide because you see it all the time with coaches, picking these players, and it's just super annoying to see. Um, but I really would like to go. I really like to see going into this Belgium game like a very good, balanced starting 11. Like maybe don't start Vargas, and maybe don't start. No, I think that's really it, bro. Like, just don't start Vargas. And, you can put in someone like Chiquito Sanchez or throw in Gutierrez more on the inside and then put Quinones on the left. I don't know, man. But I think Oved Vargas is probably the only one I wouldn't start against Belgium. Or maybe you give the kid another chance. But what you don't want to do is put Charlie Rodriguez in. Don't put his ass in. And you got to put Ormiga sooner if you're going to put him in, right? If you're going to put in any striker. So overall, the result I think for Mexico is like a B. In my opinion, it's not an A because we could have won the game, but it's like a B minus. One thing I don't like that why Raul Jimenez is crying on the interview. Mexico, has I think it was they tied to Ecuador or it was Uruguay. They tied to Uruguay. They lost to Paraguay and they tied to Ecuador, Mexico, and they're getting booed and he's fucking crying. Bro, you guys are not winning games. You're not fucking scoring. Why are you crying? If you guys score and if you guys win games, the Mexican people are happy, and that's normal. It's normal, but I don't know. I don't like it from Jimenez that he's going out in public and just crying. So makes no sense to me. Um, I feel like as a professional, as a striker, you're crying, but it's like, yo, we need the results. You need to step up. You're a veteran now in this team. You need to step up. You need to lead, and you need to score goals because that's your job. And if you're not doing your job, don't expect people to be upset with you. It is that simple, my boy. That's just my opinion, though. But yeah, I think for Mexico, it's looking bright. It's looking brighter than before, that's for sure. And for Portugal, they got to turn it up against the U.S. because if they don't, they are going to have to start hitting that panic button real soon. Because they are, in my opinion, again, top 6 favorites to win the World Cup. So we'll see. But yeah, guys, first video. Hopefully I didn't do too bad. Like, share, subscribe, comment below whatever you want to say about this Mexican team and this game. Peace.